Hello friends, today topic is can't afford basic needs. Let's rant.
I don't think that we can deny that there's something deep down in the psyche of, I don't know, Western society that believes that poor people should suffer. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Like, we have to believe that poor people should suffer. If, like, it's okay to make housing unaffordable, basic needs unaffordable. I don't understand how that correlation, it's just, that is the direct correlation to making things unaffordable, saying that poor people should suffer. I don't think that's very nice.
I'm coming on here because this is my third rant of the day, and I am just in a bitchy mood today. But why in the actual fuck nuts is life so expensive right now? I just went to the grocery store. Look at this. $243.16. And this is like a bi-weekly thing it's just me and my fiance at home. I had to stop it because somebody pulled up next to me and I felt uncomfortable. But anyway, $243.16 at Meijer. Just fucking how? I choose not to just go buy little fucking Debbie's and shit ass food. But at this point, I'm about to. Because I bought a couple different meats, some snackies, and dry ingredients, and produce. $243 fucking dollars. How are people living? I would just like to know, in today's world, how are people fucking living? Because you know what else? I'm literally at Kroger right now I'm choosing to go in and buy produce because I didn't get that much at Meijer because I like Kroger's produce anyway. Better. But anyway, what the fuck? Because I guarantee you I'm about to spend $100+ in Kroger right now. So that's going to bring our bi-weekly total of groceries to almost $400. So $800 in groceries a month for two people. I'm about to say fuck it and not even cook at home anymore, because I swear it'd almost be cheaper to go out to eat every fucking night with my fiance at this point. It really would. Because fuck, I'm so tired of everything being so expensive in today's world. And that is my rant today. Yep, $243 and about to spend $100 more in Kroger on just groceries for two people. So, I love America. The world is great right now. Okay, bye.
After 2 months of being homeless, my ex-girlfriend and I were finally able to afford to go to Target. And this is all we could afford moving into our small new apartment. No other furniture, just an air mattress, peanut butter and jelly, bread and cheese, and meat. That's all we had moving in.
All right, so boom, I went to go pick up my medication yesterday. Your boy's got ADHD, so of course I put it off until the last minute when I finally need it. And of course I have asthma too, so I'm like, oh, I'll just use my emergency inhaler. And I'm like, no, I actually should probably go refill for my controller because this is ridiculous. I'm laying in my bed asthmatic, and I'm like, all right, it's time to lock in. So I go in, log in the terminal, they call me up, I get all my stuff. I never have to copay for the most part, fortunately, because as a grad student, despite our meager wages and our stipends that we get, our insurance is actually pretty decent. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to afford most of the medications. And walking away, I think it just really dawned on me. I took a look at the bag that they gave me and was looking at the cost for Advair. I was like, what is the cost for Advair? If you have to pay out of pocket, full amount. And it is $288.83. And I think everything just kind of settled on my mind at once, I think, with just the current socio-political atmosphere right now, of just the fact that not having access to healthcare, affordable healthcare, or not even having insurance fundamentally is a death sentence, in all intents and purposes in the way that we understand it in this society. And it just really made me realize how terrifying that reality is. One, the privilege of being able to have access to like insurance and be able to afford your medications, necessary, critical, life-saving medications, people who might be sick or ill, people who are struggling through cancer, people who are struggling through other forms of illnesses or diseases that they need necessary medication at all times, is a terrifying reality to constantly have to permeate through. The consideration that the status of your life is dependent on whether you have access to critical and necessary prescriptions at any given moment that could be stripped away from you. And I sat down and actually really crunched the numbers. I wanted to share it with you all. I made a quick table really just to exemplify and be transparent on just like how expensive medication is in this country, especially if you were to walk out of the pharmacy with the raw total. I'm not really worried about the information that's being portrayed here because plenty of people have asthma or ADHD or anxiety. And walking out of that pharmacy, the raw total, if I had to pay out of pocket, was $664.65. Like I wouldn't be able to afford that. But then I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, but like what about the refill rate? Annually, what would be the sum of that? And just for my asthma medication would be a little bit over $1,700 a year, and for Concerta, a little bit over $2,300 a year. In total, for all of these things put together, I calculated basically almost about $5,000 a year, which is honestly absurd and really scary and ridiculous for people who might not be able to afford these basic medications that are critical for your wellness and your livelihood. And the reason why I'm being transparent in this and sharing this information is because I have empathy and I care. It is inexcusable, it is unconscionable that people in this country can't afford to take care of themselves. And I'm not talking about, going to the gym or other expenses that people like to invest in. I'm talking about the ability to physically take care of yourselves by going to the doctor. Things that we all are regularly supposed to do and should do as humans in society, where people who are professionals know better about our own internal functionings and mechanisms and physiology better than we do in most cases. There's no excuse. The reality that people can't afford to live. And if you can't afford to live, you are essentially being casted off to perish and being treated as expendable in a society that doesn't see your merit or your value as an individual human being with a conscience that is unique to your own. And I think it's just inexcusable. I think it is morally depraved that we live in a world where people struggle to get up every day in terms of mental wellness or physical, inabilities or injuries or disabilities. And we live in a country that tells people tirelessly that you should be productive and you should seize the day. But how can we do that if people can't even take care of themselves to begin with in the first place? And I think if anything, this is just really important to lean into that. When you are making decisions for your future, whether it be locally, whether it be on a congressional level, whether it be on a state level, if they're not advocating for your health care, I think that's an immediate strike on the list immediately because it's non-negotiable. Anyways, I hope you guys are all doing okay out there. I'm here with you all in the struggle. Your lives matter. I hope that you all can keep your heads up throughout the day because stuff is wild out here and there's no excuse or no justification for this. Every single person deserves to have wellness, be able to take care of themselves, regardless of your age, regardless of your ability, regardless of your demographic and your beliefs and ideologies. It's that simple, point blank, period. As always, stay curious.
2025 is so tough right now. Keep pushing.
So I thought I'd share a little more about things that we need but can't afford, even though we used to be able to afford them, and even though we're making more money now than we ever have in our entire lives. I'm waiting to pick up my 3-year-old from preschool. I realized there are actually quite a few other things that we need and can't afford. So here we go. I told you in my last video that I am bringing in some money now. Yeah! Still not quite enough to get us out of the hole we're in. We're still struggling to keep up a little bit, and there's still things that we are not sure how we're going to afford. First of all, talking about preschool for the 3-year-old, we have not signed her up for anything in the fall yet. We need to. I want to. To be honest, I don't know how we're going to pay for it. Hopefully by then I can have another client, a second client. Also, our dog, we have 2 dogs. One's a golden retriever, one's a little 8-pound Chihuahua mix. He has this like growth on the back of his neck and it's not going away. So we took him to the doctor. Turns out he also needs like a severe dental cleaning, which explains his bad breath. But anyways, they want $1,500 to do this stuff. I mean, like, obviously we can't just let it go. So we're going to have to figure something out. I don't know. Also, this is like the worst one, right? Damn AC on my driver's side of the car is not working properly. I have a 2019 Volvo XC90 and now it blows not hot, but not cold air. We live in South Florida. It is hot as, and it's not a cheap fix. Also, I mentioned we have a sprinkler system that doesn't work. I don't know, it's just messed up. It's gonna cost like about $1,000 to fix it. And I'm not even talking to you about all the little minor repairs that need to happen in our house. Those are just not on our radar right now. But the good news is my business is up and running. It is making me money. I really feel awesome, despite all these things we can't afford. So,
Comments like these kept me up literally all night. I am exhausted, but it was haunting me. So I decided, I know a lot of people work a lot, they have children, they don't have time to research. So I stayed up last night and I gathered a bunch of resources and a plan that you could follow in order to be prepared for an emergency, even if you don't have the funds to prepare. So let's talk about them. So resource number one is to go to your local food bank for canned foods and stock up on that. A lot of churches are doubling as food banks, so you can just type in canned food for free near me or food banks near me, and you can get stocked up on canned foods. And I know some of them have limits, so you can go to different canned food drives. You don't have to just go to one. Next idea for water is to go to a local water fountain. If you type in free water near me, you can find ways to get free water that's clean, and you just have to fill up, either if you have existing water bottles, or if you just get a gallon of milk that, like, maybe you had the gallon of milk already, you already drank it, hold on to those and just fill it with the free water. I really don't recommend boiling your tap water. A lot of people don't know that boiling tap water is actually very dangerous because fluoride is not supposed to be boiled. So don't do that, just go here. My next idea was to go to the dollar store. I just put Target because this has a dollar store type price. For ibuprofens and any medications. And what you can do, since nobody really needs the full bottle, you can go with some friends that you have and you can split the cost of this, so each of you could easily pay just 20 cents. You could also check out AliExpress. They have things for literally $1. This is a hand crank radio. I'm actually kind of mad because that's the one that I bought, and it's just $1 on AliExpress. I paid like $30 on Amazon. I might have to reconsider some things, but you could either split this with your spouse, and that could be a lot cheaper, or you could pay the $1.48. The last idea for anything backpack or clothes, hiking boots related, stuff like that, there's a lot of organizations that offer free stuff like that. You just have to look up your location, but this is a Ministries Global nonprofit, and they offer money as well, but as clothes and resources related to that. So hopefully that helped made it a little bit easier to understand how to be prepared for an emergency even when you don't have the funds. I think in total you would have spent maybe $4 with everything I suggested, so hopefully that really did help, and you do take the initiative to be prepared because it never hurts. So
Spend your money carefully and but things that you need. It's tough, but you have to stay low until you are in a better position. Thank you for watching. Until next time.